It's 5:23 a.m. and I'm sitting in my car outside what used to be my apartment, watching my ex-girlfriend and my former best friend load boxes into a moving truck. They're moving in together, laughing, touching each other casually like it's the most natural thing in the world. Like they didn't destroy my life. Like they didn't spend an entire year lying to my face, sleeping together behind my back, and making me feel crazy for noticing that something was wrong. 6 weeks ago, I was in a 3-year relationship with the woman I thought I'd marry. I had a best friend I'd known since college, someone I trusted more than anyone. I had a life that made sense, a future I was excited about. Now I have nothing. No girlfriend, no best friend, no apartment, and the knowledge that for the last year of my relationship, I was the punchline of a joke that everyone but me was in on. My name is Jake Morrison. I'm 29 years old, and I just found out that my girlfriend of 3 years, Sophie, was having an affair with my best friend of 7 years, Tyler, for the entire last year of our relationship. And the worst part? It wasn't a drunken mistake or a moment of weakness. It was a full-blown relationship happening parallel to ours. They were in love while I was in the dark. I need to write this down because I'm losing my mind. Because every memory from the past year is now poisoned. Because I keep discovering new layers of betrayal and I don't know when it will stop. Because I need to document this somewhere before I convince myself I imagined the whole thing. Let me start from the beginning, from when I thought everything was fine. Sophie and I met 4 years ago at a friend's wedding. She was a bridesmaid, I was a groomsman. We hit it off during the rehearsal dinner, danced together at the reception, exchanged numbers. Started dating a month later. It was easy, natural, comfortable. She was funny, smart, ambitious, worked in advertising as an account manager. We had similar values, similar life goals, similar tastes in movies and food and weekend activities. Tyler had been my best friend since sophomore year of college. We met in an econ class, bonded over our shared hatred of our professor, and became inseparable. After graduation, we both ended up in the same city. Him working in finance, me in tech sales. We'd grab beers twice a week, went to games together, were in the same friend group. He was the brother I never had, the person I called when things went wrong, the guy I trusted with everything. When Sophie and I got serious, Tyler was one of the first people I introduced her to. I wanted my girlfriend and my best friend to get along. And they did. They got along great. Too great, as it turns out. But at the time, I was happy about it. I loved that Sophie laughed at Tyler's jokes. That they could talk about books. They both loved reading, and I didn't. That she didn't mind when I spent time with him. There was no jealousy, no friction. My girlfriend and my best friend liked each other. It felt like everything was falling into place. We became a trio of sorts. Sophie, Tyler, and me. We'd do dinners together, watch sports at Tyler's place, occasionally do weekend trips. It was nice having a tight-knit group. I felt lucky that the two most important people in my life were also friends with each other. Looking back now, I can see all the signs I missed. But at the time, I was oblivious. About a year ago, things started changing. Small things at first. Sophie seemed distracted sometimes. She'd be on her phone more than usual, would smile at messages, and then quickly put the phone face down when I came near. When I asked what was making her smile, she'd say, "Just work stuff," or Claire being funny. Claire was her best friend from college. She started having more late work nights. "Client emergency," she'd text. "Don't wait up." I'd go to bed alone, wake up with her already asleep next to me, never thinking anything was suspicious about it. She started being less available on weekends. She'd make plans with Claire or other friends, plans that apparently I wasn't invited to. "Girls' night," she'd say. Or, "Claire is going through a breakup, she needs friend time." I thought I was being a good boyfriend by giving her space. Our sex life changed too. Not that it stopped. It was actually more frequent for a while, which I took as a good sign. But there was something different about it. More experimental, more intense. She'd suggest things we'd never done before. I thought our relationship was entering a new, exciting phase. Now I realized she was probably doing those things with him first, then trying them with me. Tyler changed too, but in ways that seemed positive. He seemed happier, more energetic. He started dressing better, going to the gym more. He even started eating healthier. When I commented on it, he said he was just trying to take better care of himself. Maybe start dating again seriously. I was supportive, encouraged him, asked if there was anyone special. He always said no, not yet, just working on himself first. The three of us still hung out, but the dynamic was different. Sometimes Sophie and Tyler would share inside jokes I didn't understand. They'd reference conversations they'd apparently had without me. When I'd ask what they were talking about, they'd brush it off. "Oh, Tyler and I grabbed coffee last week while you were in that all-day meeting." Or, "We were texting about that article I sent him." It never occurred to me to be suspicious. Why would it? Sophie was my girlfriend. Tyler was my best friend. They were friends with each other because of me. The idea that there could be something romantic between them was so far outside my realm of possibility that I never even considered it. There were moments that should have made me suspicious. Looking back, they're so obvious I want to punch myself for missing them. Like the time I came home early from a work trip and Sophie wasn't at our apartment. She'd said she was staying in that night. I called her and she sounded flustered. Said she decided to go to Claire's last minute. When she got home 2 hours later, she seemed off, jumpy. I asked if everything was okay and she snapped at me, said she was just tired. I apologized for pushing. Or the time Tyler's phone was sitting on my coffee table and it lit up with a text. I happened to glance at it, not snooping, just a reflexive look at a lit up screen, and I saw "Miss you already" from someone named S. When Tyler came back from the bathroom, I joked, "Who's S? Do you have a secret girlfriend?" He grabbed his phone quickly and said it was Sam from work and changed the subject. I didn't think about it again. Or the time Sophie got weird when I suggested the three of us take a trip together. Tyler and I had been talking about going skiing, and I said Sophie should come. She immediately said no, that she'd rather Tyler and I do a guy's trip, that she'd find something to do with her friends. Tyler agreed quickly, said it would be good to have some bro time. They were so aligned on it that I dropped the suggestion. Now I realize they didn't want to spend a whole weekend pretending around me. It was easier to maintain the lie in smaller doses. About 6 months ago, I started feeling like something was off. I couldn't articulate what exactly. Sophie was still affectionate, still said she loved me, still made plans for our future. But there was this distance I couldn't quite bridge, like part of her was somewhere else. I tried to talk to her about it. "Is everything okay with us?" I asked one night. "You seem distracted lately." "Everything's fine," she said. "Work is just really stressful. We're pitching this huge account and I'm overwhelmed. I'm sorry if I've been distant. I don't mean to be." I believed her. Offered to help however I could. Did more around the apartment so she'd be less stressed. Tried to be the supportive boyfriend who gave her space when she needed it. Around the same time, Tyler started being less available. Our twice-weekly beers became once a week, then every other week. He was always busy. Work stuff, he said. Networking events. Trying to make moves in his career. I was supportive. Told him I understood. That we'd hang when we could. What I didn't know was that he was busy with my girlfriend. That every networking event was probably dinner with Sophie. That every work thing was probably time at her place when I was out. That our friendship was being sacrificed so he could sleep with my girlfriend. 4 months ago, I noticed Sophie had a new necklace. A delicate gold chain with a small pendant. It was beautiful, expensive looking. I asked where she got it and she said she'd bought it for herself, a reward for landing that big account at work. I told her it looked great on her. Never thought to question why she'd never mentioned landing the account. Or why she'd celebrate by buying herself jewelry instead of telling me so we could celebrate together. 3 months ago, Tyler started dating someone, or so he said. Her name was Kelly. She worked in marketing. They'd met through mutual friends. I asked to meet her. He always had an excuse. She was traveling for work. She was shy about meeting friends. They were taking it slow. I thought it was weird but figured he'd introduce us when he was ready. Kelly didn't exist. I know that now. She was a cover story, so I wouldn't ask why Tyler was suddenly even less available. Why he seemed distracted during our hangouts. Why he'd check his phone constantly and smile at messages he wouldn't explain. 2 months ago, Sophie and I talked about moving in together. We'd been dating for nearly 3 years, split time between her place and mine, and it seemed like the natural next step. I brought it up over dinner. "What do you think about getting a place together?" I asked. "Both our leases are up in a few months. We could find somewhere that's ours." 6 weeks ago, everything came crashing down, and it happened in the most mundane, stupid way possible. Sophie had left her laptop at my place. She'd gone to work early and forgotten it. She texted me, asking if I could drop it off at her office. I said sure, no problem. I grabbed the laptop to bring it to her. It was open, screen still on, and there in the center of the screen was an iMessage conversation. With Tyler. I shouldn't have read it. I know that. It was an invasion of privacy. But I saw my own name in the messages, and curiosity got the better of me. What I read destroyed me. Tyler. When are you telling him? Sophie. I don't know. Soon, I promise. I just need to find the right time, Tyler. You've been saying that for months. I can't keep doing this. I love you. I want to actually be with you, not just in secret. Sophie. I love you too. So much, I'm just scared. Jake is going to be devastated. Tyler, he's my best friend. This is killing me too. But we can't keep lying to him. Sophie, I know you're right. Just give me a little more time to figure out how to do this. I scrolled up. The conversation went back months. Hundreds of messages. I love you. I miss you. Last night was amazing. I can't wait to touch you again. I wish we didn't have to hide. I scrolled further. Found messages from a year ago. Early, flirty messages that escalated into explicit sexting. Found messages where they planned their hookups, coordinated their lies, talked about me. One message from Tyler, from about 8 months ago. I feel terrible every time I see him. He has no idea. We're the worst people, Sophie's response. I know, but I can't help how I feel about you. This is just, it's real, Ty. What I have with Jake is comfortable, but what we have is electric. Another message from Sophie, from 6 months ago. He asked me last night if everything was okay with us. I almost told him, almost broke down and confessed everything, but I couldn't do it. I'm such a coward, Tyler. You're not a coward. We're in an impossible situation. We'll figure it out. We always do. They called each other baby, had pet names for each other, made plans to go away together. The work trips Sophie had taken were actually weekend getaways with Tyler. The networking events Tyler couldn't miss were dates with Sophie. There were messages about me, about how guilty they felt, but also messages where they joked about close calls, about almost getting caught, about how oblivious I was. Sophie, 3 months ago, Jake asked to meet Kelly, your imaginary girlfriend. You need to come up with better cover stories. Tyler, I know, I panicked. But he bought it, Sophie. He always does. God, I'm terrible. He trusts me completely. He trusts both of us. We're destroying him and he doesn't even know it. Tyler. So let's tell him. Let's stop lying and just deal with the consequences. Sophie. Not yet. I'm not ready. I sat there in my apartment, my girlfriend's laptop in my hands, reading message after message that proved the two people I trusted most in the world had been betraying me for a year. A year. 12 months of lies. 12 months of them sleeping together, saying they loved each other, making plans for a future that didn't include me. 12 months of looking me in the eye and pretending everything was normal. I scrolled all the way back to where it started, found the first message that crossed the line from friendly to something more. It was from about 13 months ago. Sophie had messaged Tyler. Thanks for listening last night. Jake and I had a fight and I needed someone to talk to. You're a good friend, Tyler. Always here for you. What was the fight about? And from there, it escalated. One conversation led to another. Coffee to talk about the relationship turned into extended hangouts. Hangouts turned into emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy turned into physical attraction. Physical attraction turned into a drunken kiss after one of those talks. The kiss turned into more. They'd tried to stop, according to the messages. Felt guilty, agreed it was wrong, said it couldn't happen again, but it kept happening. And somewhere along the way, it stopped being just physical and became something more. They fell in love. My girlfriend and my best friend fell in love with each other while I was in a relationship with her and a friendship with him. I couldn't breathe. Literally couldn't catch my breath. I sat on my couch reading these messages for over an hour, discovering new levels of betrayal with every scroll. They'd been together at my apartment while I was at work. Sophie had a key, would let Tyler in, and they'd use my bed. My fucking bed! There were messages joking about it, how wrong it felt, but how they couldn't help themselves. They'd been together at Tyler's place during our guys' nights. He'd cancel on me last minute saying work came up. Then Sophie would tell me she was having girls' night, and they'd spend the evening together at his apartment. They'd been together during the group hangouts we all had. I'd watch them interact, watch them laugh at each other's jokes, watch them be carefully platonic while secretly wanting each other. Every group dinner, every game night at Tyler's place, every casual hangout, they were performing for me while thinking about the moment they could be alone together. I found messages from Sophie about our sex life, about how she felt guilty being intimate with me while sleeping with Tyler, about how it was getting harder to be present during sex with me because she was thinking about him. I found messages from Tyler about our friendship, about how much it was killing him to lie to me, but how he couldn't give Sophie up, about how he knew I'd never forgive him when I found out, but he'd accepted that cost. They'd discussed different scenarios for telling me. Sophie wanted to break up with me first, wait a few months, then start dating Tyler so it wouldn't seem suspicious. Tyler thought that was worse, that they should just tell me the truth. They never reached a conclusion. Just kept putting it off, kept lying, kept having their affair while I remained oblivious. The laptop started getting low on battery. I plugged it in and kept reading. I needed to see everything. Needed to know the full scope of the betrayal. I found messages about our friend group. Apparently, some of them suspected. Tyler's roommate had made a comment about Sophie being over a lot when I wasn't around. One of our mutual friends had asked Sophie point blank if something was going on with her and Tyler. She denied it, laughed it off, said they were just friends, but some people knew, or strongly suspected, and none of them told me. I found messages where Tyler and Sophie discussed me, sometimes with affection. Jake is such a good person. This is going to destroy him. Sometimes with frustration. I wish Jake would just break up with me so I wouldn't have to be the bad guy. Sometimes with cold analysis. Do you think he suspects anything? No, he's completely clueless. I read for hours. My phone kept buzzing with texts from Sophie. Did you find my laptop? Are you bringing it by? Jake, are you okay? But I couldn't respond. Couldn't think. Could barely breathe. Finally, around 3 p.m., I closed the laptop. Sat there staring at nothing for probably another hour. Then I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront them yet. I was going to let them show themselves. I was going to watch them lie to my face one more time so there could be no doubt, no excuses, no way for them to spin this into something forgivable. I texted Sophie back. Sorry, got caught up with work stuff. I can drop off your laptop tonight. Dinner at your place? She responded immediately. That sounds perfect. I'll cook. Love you, love you. After I just read hundreds of messages where she told my best friend she loved him, I texted Tyler. Hey man, wanna grab drinks tomorrow? Feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Tyler, definitely. I've been swamped, but I miss hanging out. Tomorrow works. I missed hanging out with the guy who'd been sleeping with my girlfriend for a year. That evening, I went to Sophie's apartment. She'd made pasta, opened wine, was acting completely normal. Loving, even. She kissed me when I arrived, asked about my day, told me about hers. I sat across from her at dinner watching her perform, wondering how she could do this so easily, how she could look at me and lie and seem so genuine. I've been thinking, Sophie said during dinner, about us moving in together. I think I was being silly before. If you still want to, I'd love to find a place together. This was what they'd discussed in the messages. She'd decided to move in with me as a cover while figuring out how to eventually leave me for Tyler. Buy herself more time. Really? I said, acting pleased. What changed your mind? I just love you, she said, reaching across the table to take my hand. I want to build a life with you. I'm sorry I was hesitant before. The lie was so smooth, so believable. If I hadn't read the messages, I would have been thrilled. Afterward, she fell asleep, curled against me. I lay awake all night, feeling her breath on my chest, wanting to scream. The next day, I met Tyler for drinks. We went to our usual bar, grabbed our usual booth. He asked about work, told me about his. We talked about sports, about a show we were both watching. Normal best friend conversation. Then I brought up Sophie. Things are good with Sophie, I said. We're talking about moving in together. Tyler's face flickered, just for a second. Then he smiled. That's great, man. I'm happy for you guys. You and Kelly are getting serious too, right? I asked, watching him. Yeah, he said. It's going well. I think you'd really like her. We should all do dinner soon. Another lie. So casual, so practiced. How do you do it? I asked. Do what? Lie to me, Tyler froze. What? I read the messages, I said. My voice was steady, calm. I read all of them. Every single message between you and Sophie, going back a year. So I'm going to ask you one more time. How do you do it? How do you look me in the eye and lie like it's nothing? The color drained from Tyler's face. Jake, don't, I interrupted. Don't insult me by making up more lies. I know everything. How long it's been going on. That you love each other. That you've been using my apartment, my bed. That you've been planning how to tell me. I know all of it. Tyler looked like he might throw up. I'm so sorry. Jake, I'm so fucking sorry. How did it start? I asked. When did you decide my girlfriend was fair game? It wasn't like that, Tyler said weakly. It just happened. We didn't mean for it to... For a year? I cut him off. You didn't mean for it to happen for an entire year? How many times did it just accidentally happen? 50 times? 100? Tyler couldn't look at me. I know there's no excuse. I know I'm a terrible person, but I do love her. It's not just physical. I really love her. Great, I said. You love my girlfriend. My girlfriend loves you. You've both been lying to me for 12 months. What am I supposed to do with that information? I don't know, Tyler said. Whatever you need to do. I'll take whatever anger you have. I deserve it. Do our other friends know? I asked. Tyler hesitated. Some of them suspect. And they didn't tell me? We asked them not to, Tyler admitted. Sophie and I, we said we were going to tell you ourselves, that we just needed time. You've had a year, I said. How much time did you need? Tyler didn't answer. Were you ever going to tell me? I asked. Or were you just going to keep fucking my girlfriend behind my back forever? We were going to tell you, Tyler insisted. Sophie was just scared. We both were. You're my best friend, Jake. Hurting you is the worst thing I've ever done. But I couldn't stop. I tried. We both tried. But we couldn't stay away from each other. You're not my best friend, I said. My voice was cold. Best friends don't fuck their friend's girlfriend. Best friends don't lie for a year straight. Best friends don't betray every ounce of trust they've ever been given. You're just someone I used to know. I stood up. Threw money on the table for my beer. Jake, please, Tyler started. Can we talk about this? There's nothing to talk about, I said. You and Sophie deserve each other. You're both liars. You're both betrayers. You're perfect together. I left. Drove straight to Sophie's apartment. Let myself in with the key I still had. She was on the couch, laptop open. Probably messaging Tyler about how the conversation with me went. He told you, Sophie said when she saw me. It wasn't a question. I already knew, I said. I read everything yesterday. Every message. Every lie. Every plan to deceive me. Sophie started crying. Jake, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. It just happened. Stop saying it just happened, I said. My voice was rising. It didn't just happen. You made choices. Every time you slept with him. Every time you lied to me. Every time you looked me in the eye and said you loved me while you were in love with him. Those were choices. I do love you, Sophie sobbed. In my own way I do. Just not the way you love Tyler, I said. Not the way you're supposed to love your boyfriend. I was going to tell you, Sophie said. I swear I was. I just didn't know how. You've had a year to figure it out, I said. Instead, you asked me to move in with you last night. You slept with me last night. You were going to keep lying for as long as you could get away with it. Sophie buried her face in her hands. What do you want me to say? I fucked up. I know I fucked up. I'm a terrible person, but I can't change how I feel about him. Then be with him, I said. Congratulations, you've got what you wanted. You and Tyler can stop sneaking around and actually be together. It's not that simple. Yes, it is, I interrupted. You want him. He wants you. I'm done. Simple. I put my key to her apartment on the coffee table. We're over. I'll come by next week to get my stuff. Don't contact me. Don't try to explain. We're done. Sophie was still crying as I left. That was 6 weeks ago. Since then, my entire life has imploded. I had to tell our friend group what happened. Had to explain why I wasn't coming to group events anymore. Why Tyler and I weren't friends. Some people were supportive. Some people seemed to think I was overreacting. People fall in love, one friend said. It sucks, but it happens. You can't control who you have feelings for. I lost friends in the fallout. People who sided with Sophie and Tyler or who didn't want to pick sides, so they just stopped hanging out with all of us. The friend group we'd built together dissolved. I moved out of my apartment. Too many memories. Too many ghosts. Got a smaller place across town that I could barely afford. I've been in therapy. My therapist says I'm experiencing complex betrayal trauma. That being betrayed by two people at once, my romantic partner and my best friend, creates a unique kind of devastation. That it's normal to feel like I can't trust anyone anymore. Like everyone is potentially lying to me. I can't date. Can't even imagine it. How do I trust someone new when the person I trusted most in the world betrayed me? How do I make new friends when my best friend destroyed me? I've lost weight. Can't sleep. Cry randomly. Get angry at nothing. All the classic signs of trauma that I never thought I'd experience. And Sophie and Tyler? They're thriving. They made it official about 2 weeks after I found out. Started posting photos together on social media. Got supportive comments from mutual friends congratulating them. Nobody seemed to care that they'd been having an affair for a year. Last week, I heard they're moving in together. Hence why I'm sitting outside my old apartment at 5 in the morning watching them load a U-Haul. They look happy. Genuinely happy. Laughing, kissing, being a couple in public now that they don't have to hide. And I'm here, alone in my car, watching my ex-girlfriend and ex-best friend start the life together that they built on the destruction of mine. The therapist says I shouldn't do this. Shouldn't surveil them. Shouldn't torture myself watching them be happy. But I can't help it. I need to see it. Need to confirm that it was real. That they really do love each other. That I wasn't just a placeholder while they figured out their feelings. I've been thinking a lot about the year they were lying to me. About specific moments that now make sense. The time Sophie was unreachable for 3 hours and came back with a story about her phone dying. She was with Tyler. The time Tyler canceled our weekend trip last minute saying his mom was sick. He spent the weekend with Sophie while I stayed home alone. The time I walked into a room and they both immediately stopped talking, said they were discussing a surprise for my birthday. There was no surprise. They were just caught talking about something they couldn't explain. Every weird moment, every time something felt off, every instinct I ignored, it was all true. My gut knew something was wrong. I just didn't want to believe it. I've also been thinking about trust. How do you rebuild it after something like this? My girlfriend of 3 years betrayed me. My best friend of 7 years betrayed me. Some of our mutual friends knew or suspected and didn't tell me. The 3 people I trusted most in the world conspired to lie to me for a year. How do I ever trust anyone again? How do I date without being paranoid that she's cheating? How do I make friends without wondering if they're lying to me? How do I build relationships when the foundation of every relationship, trust, has been completely destroyed? I don't have answers. I just have questions and pain and this crushing weight of knowing that 2 people I loved chose each other over me and thought that was acceptable. They're loading the last boxes now. Tyler just picked Sophie up and spun her around. She's laughing. They're looking at each other like they're the only 2 people in the world. I wonder if they ever think about me, if they feel guilty, if they regret how it happened, even if they don't regret being together. I wonder if they tell their story honestly to new friends. We met while she was dating his best friend. We had an affair for a year, then we destroyed him and got together, or if they sanitize it. We fell in love despite complicated circumstances. I wonder if they're happy enough that the betrayal was worth it. If the love they have for each other is strong enough to justify the damage they caused. I wonder if I'll ever stop caring. The U-Haul is pulling away now. Sophie and Tyler are getting into his car to follow it, off to their new apartment, their new life, the future they built on the ruins of my trust. I should leave, should go home, should stop torturing myself by watching them. But I sit here for another 10 minutes, staring at the empty space where the U-Haul was, trying to understand how I got here. 6 weeks ago, I had a girlfriend, a best friend, and a life that made sense. Now I have none of those things. Just the knowledge that the 2 people I trusted most looked me in the eye every day for a year and lied. And they're going to be fine. They have each other. They'll tell their friends about the complicated situation they navigated. They'll build a life together. Maybe they'll get married, have kids, grow old together. And their origin story will always be that they betrayed me. But they won't care, because they have each other. Because their love was worth my destruction. At least, that's what they'll tell themselves. I start my car, drive away from my old apartment for the last time. 6 weeks of processing and I'm no closer to understanding. No closer to forgiving. No closer to moving on. Just closer to accepting that this is my reality now. That I'm the guy whose girlfriend fell in love with his best friend. That I'm the guy who was lied to for a year by the 2 people he trusted most. That I'm the guy who has to rebuild his entire life from scratch because 2 people couldn't keep their hands off each other. The sun is coming up now. Another day to survive. Another day of being the person this happened to. Another day of wondering if I'll ever trust anyone again. Another day of knowing the answer is probably no. And another day of seeing my ex-girlfriend and former best friend's photos on social media, looking happy, looking in love, looking like none of this destroyed them the way it destroyed me. Because it didn't. They got everything they wanted. And I got nothing but the wreckage they left behind.